one and all, and welcome to the 180th episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on April 18th, 2022. On the podcast today, he might not be the real Slim Shady, but he is the best Slim Shady, Andrew Clark.
Look at me. I'm standing up.
I realize now,
that's the whole thing.
After I say that, what's the message of that song? Do you want to be the real Slim Shady? Is that an aspirational thing?
I think there's a lot of white rappers trying to bite off Eminem's success.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck y'all.
Oh.
Yeah. He was saying that there were a lot of people that were, copping his whole fucking game.
Yeah.
And that
he
he's
was
the real
the
one.
white rapper. Yeah. And then when he had success, people were like, oh, white people want to listen to white rappers, huh? I can do that.
I feel like if I were to go to Eminem's wiki page, the alias section of his info box would be way too long. He's gone by too many names.
Just have a lot of aliases.
Yeah. Also on the podcast today, we have a master baller, ski baller that is, Ryan Holtz.
I won a prize that I didn't even know existed, and I wasn't striving for it.
Hooray!
By accident.
The American dream!
I'm so athletically gifted.
I could not tell what was going on in that video that you sent us.
That was a different game.
Oh. It was in like slow... It was in slow motion. It was 30 seconds long. I had no idea what was going on. Just a thing was spinning.
Oh, yeah, that's the drop ball game. I did win that as well in our arcade trip this time. And I did get a slow motion video of it, and it was just kind of cool. But yeah, no, that's just one where you time it, and it drops into whatever hole, and if you miss, it bounces around and goes into a random hole or whatever. I don't know. It's a classic that you see. But no, I won Skee Ball, which I didn't even know you could win. I thought Skee Ball was one of those like shitty ticket games. It's just like, yeah, we'll give you 20 tickets for playing, but that's about it. But no, there was a giant flashing screen in the like top part, which you don't look at because the Skee Ball part's on the ground, that said like, yeah, if you score 80,000 points, you win the bonus. And that's 10, you only get 9 balls, and the highest score is 10,000, and they're the little tiny holes way up in the corner. So it's a very difficult task to do. But yeah, I didn't even know. And every single time someone plays and doesn't win the bonus, it adds 1 ticket to that bonus. And the bonus starts at 500, which I learned once it reset. I won 1,500 tickets.
Oh my God.
Because it had 1,000 plays between the bonus and when I won it. It was insane. I was just on fire. I could not miss. I just 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000.
It's dialed in.
Yeah, missed 1 ball.
So did you take those tickets and trade them in for something nice?
We're still like holding off. We got like 9,000 tickets at this point total, and we could get a PS5 controller, which is wild. Ooh. The PS5 controller is 9,000 tickets. The PS4 controller is 11,000 tickets. If that makes any sense.
No, it does not.
But yeah, we already have 2, and I'm like, I don't think we'll ever need more than that.
Although this is 2 summers out of date now, but I had a pain in the ass of a time trying to get a new PlayStation 4 controller when I moved to my last place in Chicago. I was briefly lost in the move, and they just weren't anywhere. I tried GameStop, I tried Target. I had to order it not even from like Sony official on Amazon, like the official PlayStation website was the only place I could get one.
I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
It was right around that period of time in the pandemic where like all video game everything was sold out. Like you had to pay like $500 to get a used Nintendo Switch.
Right.
That kind of thing. You couldn't get controllers anywhere. It just, everyone was still stuck in the mindset of like, I'm staying at home and there's nothing to do. So I'm going to play video games until my eyes bleed.
Animal Crossing Village is perfect. I got Raymond.
Yeah.
That's the cat guy, I guess. I don't know.
Got the cat guy.
Yeah.
Furries rejoice.
Hooray! Also, hello everyone. I am Lucas the Writer. Lately, I have had to take care of a lot of things that relate to my vehicle, which means corresponding with the DMV, and not once have I used the phrase, "I'm adulting right now." And I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
You've resisted that millennial urge to...
I was today years old when Lucas told me he had never used the phrase, "I'm adulting right now."
I'm not saying I haven't used that phrase. I think everyone between the ages of, let's say, 24 and 35 have used that phrase at least once. I hate that phrase, though. But it is so ubiquitous to culture, to where we are in culture, that I can't resist saying it on occasion. But I am resisting this time.
It's the boomer... It's the stuff that we'll look back on and cringe pretty hard, like boomer language for millennials. Right. And it's not pleasant. But yeah, I mean, in the early days, that was the cool shit.
Yeah.
That was just what you could do. Andrew is gingerly unwrapping his, I'm assuming, recording microphone that he's currently recording with.
Yeah, no, there's some weird shit popping up on my my audio track, so I was trying to figure out if it was touching something that was making a noise, like if the wires were crossed doing something, but...
I definitely don't think you should have it wrapped like that around the stand. I don't think that's
okay,
good.
Ryan, when Nikola Tesla comes back to life, you can ask him how fucking coils work. How is the sound supposed to go from the big sound ball to my computer if there isn't a current established through this coil?
Yeah. Nikola Tesla got dragged semi-recently, like, for the first time that I've seen, for anything, and it was for, just hardcore misogynist, like, for his time misogynist.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, boy, Nikola Tesla, you are like a bachelor by choice. Like, you are an incel. You are an original incel. We were like, I can't stand modern women. They're trying to be too much like men. And he said that, like, before women's voting rights and shit. Like,
oh my god.
So, yeah. I don't think I'd ever seen that criticism levied, but interesting.
I mean, he was a man working in STEM, and I guess that was even true back then. Those political leanings in that field.
It's not really a leaning. He's fallen over. He's laying on the ground. He leaned too far, and now he's completely in that direction.
Face first into misogyny.
Yeah.
And
the Elmo gif of just like smashing his face into the cocaine. Just like treating people with respect. Misogyny.
How often... So, like, growing up, the most casually misogynistic thing that I think I heard somebody expressed as, like, a genuine opinion was like, oh yeah, women can have jobs. I mean, until they have a kid, then they, like, should be a mom. I got that way more often than what I realized growing up, and didn't realize how problematic it really was until I got out of my hometown. Ryan, did you hear that much?
I feel like I've definitely heard that at some point, but I don't know.
Okay.
I can't think of a single insular incident of misogyny because it was so rampant.
That's fair.
And pervasive that, there's no like, whoa, dude. Because it also did that alt-right thing where it's like, people can't tell, ha, I'm trying to be funny, but the thing that I'm saying is not funny and terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, boy, women are all just bitches who suck and, like, they're only good for having sex with. And it's just like, I can tell you're making the cadence of trying to sound funny,
mm-hmm.
but it's not funny, and you're like, I think you believe that. Like,
pantomiming at a joke, but I think you're so irony poisoned that this is just how you talk.
No, I don't think it's irony poisoned. I think they're trying to espouse an actual belief that they have, but they understand that it is not socially acceptable to believe or say. So they're saying it in a way where if people don't agree with them, they can say, oh, I'm just joking. You don't have a sense of humor. But then they're also like sending out feelers to try to see who is actually going, I like what this guy has to say. Women really do be shopping.
Yeah, it's the lull jokes. It's what 4chaners and all the alt-right trolls do. Like, I'm just joking. And it's like, yeah, but...
Unless...
No. And then even if you were, like, at a certain point, what's the difference? Like, you're still spreading this rhetoric. And if you were truly did not hold that opinion, you wouldn't espouse it so readily? Yeah.
Have like right-winger dog whistles ever been cool, ever sounded or seemed not ridiculous? Because I'm trying to think back, like right now we have somebody making the okay sign that could potentially be like, I'm into white power, guys, heads up, just so you know. But then also like the KKK back in the day. And still now, I guess, are calling people Grand Dragon and dumb shit like that. Get better writers.
That's not
Get
a
better
dog
writers,
whistle.
conservatives.
That's their official title.
Right. And we know that now because of the Superman radio drama. But not back in the day. That was just... Yeah. That was cover.
A dog whistle?
Yeah,
It wasn't,
that was a dog whistle.
It's not a dog whistle. I mean, it's a dog whistle in the way that it's someone on the street yelling loudly in English and not using a dog whistle to get their dog to come to them. I don't know.
It does feel like a dog whistle is supposed to be covert, and using something as audacious as Grand Dragon feels like it's trying to draw attention to that fact instead of just boss or something, you know, instead of something innocuous sounding.
It's like wearing a shirt like walking down the street with a shirt on that says like, I don't call minorities slurs. Yeah. And it's like, oh, but it kind of seems like you do.
We're a clandestine underground criminal organization. Our colors are like fluorescent yellow, hot pink, and lime green. And it's a full body morph suit. And we do cartwheels to move.
We are Legion. We are everywhere, hidden in the shadows. And it's just a guy in a blaze orange hunting jacket.
Yeah. Running around the street waving his arms.
Yeah. Shouting slurs and handing out leaflets that say, hey, come to our headquarters at this address if you want to hear more slurs.
You like these slurs? You like the slurs you're hearing?
Give them one of these.
Where that came from.
We have a workshop on Tuesday to come up with some new ones. You definitely want to be a part of that.
Are you a racist?
Do we need it.
Do you think the slurs are used too much? If they lost their luster, come on down to Grand Dragon's Slur Maker.
Grand Dragon.
We got all kinds of slurs. We got old slurs. We got new slurs. We got slurs you made. You can make a slur and trademark it.
We'll put a slur on a grain of rice and make it personal. Then you can throw it at minorities and they'll read it and not know what happened because it's not real. You just made it up. And then the pigeons will blow up from your racist rice.
At one point, there was a good pivot in this conversation into the first news of the week story. I don't know if I want to pin all of this onto Randy Pitchford, but if we could rewind just to the misogyny part of the conversation. Speaking of news of the week, Randy Pitchford stays on brand and buys the controversial Hollywood Magic Castle.
Oh my god.
Has Randy Pitchford made an NFT?
Let's look.
I was gonna say, if he did, you're really missing out on your research.
Top article. Well, at least Gearbox probably isn't going to do NFTs.
Hey.
Yeah.
Good for Randy Pitchford.
Yeah.
He's vindicated.
Yeah, at least he's not...
He's done nothing wrong in Lucas's eyes.
I see Randy Pitchford actually like calling a guy out on Twitter talking about NFTs in a NFTs are bad kind of way.
Wow.
Lucas
Randy
is...
Pitchford's anti-NFTs. Are you sure you want to levy this criticism, Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas is changing his whole shit.
There have been reports of Randy Pitchford, if not outright sexually assaulting people, making them feel very uncomfortable by inviting him to his house for a magic show. Still not a great dude in my mind. Yeah.
Okay, so we got NFTs, doing magic, sexual assault.
Matt, can we fit barely legal porn fanatic in between NFTs and
Fanatic.
What? Ryan, how else would you describe the behavior of somebody who literally walks around with a USB drive filled with barely legal porn? And business documents. Very important business documents. Those are equally important.
I forgot about
those
this.
folders are right next to each other.
This was like 2.5 pandemic years ago.
Yeah. Which is like 4 real years.
I don't know. I think NFTs are like the catalyst, and all the other bad actions are the experimental chemicals. Mm-hmm. And until they make an NFT, they're not a bad person. Because those bad things are just bubbling under the surface, waiting to explode.
I think the NFTs are the signifier, and all the other bad shit is just confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Look,
everyone's a bad person, and then
this guy is bad because of the NFTs, but look at all the other bad shit that he's done that is confirming that he is bad because of the NFTs.
Right.
NFTs make you walk around with barely legal porn on a USB drive and make your workers feel uncomfortable with magic shows.
Correlation is causation. Did you guys see that insane unhinged take from Charlie Kirk recently?
No.
Where he was talking about how there's a real estate crisis in this country, and it's not what you think. It's not that homes are very expensive. It's that... And hear me out.
Okay.
We're building vertically, not horizontally. When you build vertically... like, you are increasing liberalism. Like, people turn more liberal living in vertical buildings. And, like, don't get it twisted. He doesn't, like, he's not making a weird argument based on correlation saying that, like, liberals live in tall buildings, so we should build more horizontally to fuck over liberals. No. He says... some of you might say, oh, that's correlation, not causation. I disagree. Think about it. You're living on the 32nd floor of a high-rise. You're not down in the dirt pulling weeds and mowing your lawn and really understanding what it means to take care of property and being a real American. He genuinely, like, wants to spit in the face of people that could give him the benefit of the doubt. He truly believes that if you live in a tall building, you're more likely to be liberal. And that's why cities are liberal.
So, couple of things. First off, we really need to do away with the social idea that if you touch a computer in your day job, you can't be working class. Like, that is not the world we live in 2022. Like... I'm not going to put a number on it, but if you're making below a salary, no matter what your job is doing, you are a working class individual. And 2, that's unhinged. Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's crazy person talk.
People respect this person. Dumb people respect this person, but what the...
disregard the fact that, like, the people living in high-rises, I'm going to say, are not going to be overwhelmingly liberal in their political leanings. Disregard the fact that the people who are probably living pretty horizontally in shitty townhouse-style apartments, public housing-style shit, aren't going to be doing very well and more likely to lean left in their ideology. Yeah, no. Just basically saying touch grass.
Yeah.
And you'll be a conservative.
If you haven't mowed a lawn in the past 90 days, you're not a real American.
Here you go.
I mean, you can take that to any extreme that you want, though. Because if owning property is what makes you a conservative, which he's getting really close to something right there. If owning property is what makes you conservative, why not just take it to the extreme and go, you're liberal because you're not a millionaire?
There's a depth I could go to in this. Is he saying that there shouldn't be more resources because if there is more stuff, then people are gonna feel like that should be evenly distributed and that's social? I don't know. There are a million ways you could read this. All of that is fruitless, though, because I guarantee Charlie Kirk didn't spend more than 30 minutes thinking up this argument.
Right. It's so unhinged that I don't even understand his motivation.
Yeah.
I don't even get what he's getting at. Yeah.
Bro, why did you post this?
I literally don't even know what right-leaning ideology led to this conclusion. Like, where... Because it's got to be motivated from some weird desire to return to the nuclear family of the 50s and, like, white picket fence and, like, suburbia. But, like, I don't understand.
It's... Okay, you shouldn't understand, because I am positive that he took some very weird turns to convince his brain that this was a good argument. But I'm sure it just is rooted in the idea that he wanted to say something bad about cities, because cities are more liberal, and say something good about, more rural area where there's more, like, home ownership and less tall buildings, because that's what his viewer base is. And he's like, oh yeah, the people in the cities are more liberal, not because they're more educated, not because they're lower income, not because there's more diversity. It's because tall buildings make their brains weird.
To which I would reply, Charlie Kirk, my brother in Christ, you live in Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Yeah.
That is the white flight suburb of Chicago.
Yeah, but it's flat. It's horizontal.
They built horizontal.
Yeah. No, Charlie Kirk isn't like saying, yeah, we need to return to like old country men like doing hard work and shit. No, that doesn't matter. He wants the suburbs. He wants miles and miles and miles of 2-story homes with like 1/4-acre lots very close together that just never stop.
Yeah. That have weird fucking road patterns that make zero sense and will never work out for public transportation.
And all the homes were built within the course of 3 weeks with very cheap materials and won't last 10 years.
There's 4 house styles, so when the kids go trick-or-treating on Halloween, they very often stumble upon the exact same house that they live in, and it's a very trippy experience.
Congratulations, motherfucker, you're in the Squidward ethno-state.
Yeah. And that is totally not based on a real story of how I used to hang out at my friend's house, and then one time we went trick-or-treating, and we rang like 3 different doorbells where I was like, this is your house? This is fucking weird, man. They made the same design. I know where the bathrooms are without ever having been here.
I went to a former boss of mine, like they were hosting like a dinner party for like the people on my work team, and they were smack dab in the middle of like a community that was actively being built. Like 3 blocks over was just upturned dirt and half-built houses going in like miles in every direction. And it was seriously just, you had a city block or like a cul-de-sac block, and there were like 8 houses on each side, and there were only 4 house designs, and it was house A, house B, house C, house D, house A, house B, house C, house D. Just on and on and on and on and on.
Equally spread out.
Yeah.
So, my brother's a carpenter. He hasn't quite been on a project that big. But also the people working those gigs are just making money hand over fist.
Yeah. Because houses are expensive.
Yeah.
You can sell them for a lot of money.
You can buy them for cheap, sell them to an LLC that you work for, and then in turn sell that to a giant corporation for a 4 times markup, and then have that go back on the market for 10 times what the original person paid for.
That seems sustainable.
Totally not suspicious. Totally not inflating the market artificially.
You're just selling it to yourself, paying with your own money, and upping the price each time. But of course, you're not losing any money because you're paying yourself. Yeah. And then eventually, when you've paid yourself in your own money 10 times, increasing every time, you get to go to some poor sucker and say, look at the transactions. This house has gone up in value over and over and over again. It's $500,000. Ignore the first one 6 months ago.
Yeah, ignore the fact that this has been over the course of 3 months. Yeah.
I mean, eventually they'll have to pay taxes on that money. Unless, what if they took all of their liquid funds, or most of their liquid funds, and turned those into virtual, non-fungible tokens that are untaxed assets?
Didn't they just pass a law about that, though? Like a couple months
For
ago?
crypto, NFTs I think are still suspect.
Oh.
Sus.
Yeah.
NFTs are... Yeah, that's what AOC is saying on the floor. I don't know, man. NFTs are hella sus. Sure, we cracked down on crypto, but I'm looking at NFTs with some side eye right now. I'm not sure.
Oh God, that's Randy Pitchford's music.
Thank you, Ryan, for bringing up a prominent progressive because, we just spent a lot of time roasting a Republican. So, to be fair and unbiased,
this is not a prominent progressive.
No.
We're going to roast a Democrat. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Those things are different.
A very wealthy establishment Democrat. Yeah. This is very safe territory.
This old money Democrat that we're talking about is California Governor Gavin Newsom, who has been accused of interfering with the Department of Fair Housing and Employment's lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. This accusation comes after the firing of the org's chief counsel by Newsom, who was responsible for the investigation of the lawsuit against Activision Blizzard.
I am so bummed that Fear and Malding seems to be dead.
Yeah.
Because this is a story built for Fear and Malding with big himbo energy Gavin Newsom firing a gaming investigator. This is literally right up their alley.
I hate that in the re-election that happened the first summer I moved out to Los Angeles, Gavin Newsom was still the best option of everyone who was on the re-election alternative ballot.
Democrats refused to run anyone because then they might have actually gone through.
And then we would have who's the Kardashian adjacent, the very famous transgender woman.
Caitlyn Jenner?
Then we might have Caitlyn Jenner as a governor.
No, she wasn't. No. She ended up being very, very small. It would have been that one shock jockey, former radio guy, would have been the governor. So.
Oh, the guy
worse.
I think the shock jockey radio guy said some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a shock jockey.
At least Caitlyn Jenner would have had to keep up her LGBTQ shit. I mean, look, maybe not. Maybe she would have went full, what's her name with it? Gabby, what's her name? No, I don't know her name.
I think I know who you're talking about, but yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
Who are you thinking of? What are you talking about?
Owens? Is her last name Owens?
Candace Owens?
Candace Owens. There you go, not Gabby Owens. Candace Owens with it, just I hate gay people. Because I'm gay, and I know we suck.
Candace Owens.
So all you conservatives don't have to feel bad.
Candace Owens isn't gay.
No, she's black. It's the equivalent.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Candace Owens goes there's a black culture problem, and because she's black, she gets to say it, and conservatives fucking eat that shit up.
I thought you were saying Candace
Owens
Owens came out as gay recently.
No. Caitlyn Jenner could be the Candace Owens of gay rights.
Did Candace Owens come out as black?
Yeah.
This is weird. This is a weird news story. I don't care for it.
I got something
Welcome
to show
California,
you,
baby.
and I don't think you're gonna like it.
Our most prominent politicians are all unbelievably wealthy Democrats who are, let's be honest, like pretty conservative.
Yeah, no, they benefit from all of the policies that Republicans openly run, and Democrats secretly want them to win.
Pelosi, Feinstein, and Newsom, literally. I might be close to $1 billion in combined net worth.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi is the best investor in the country, and I wonder why that might be.
She's so fucking talented. She's just so fucking talented, Andrew. Don't take that away from her. She's just got a knack for the markets, man.
Not to leave you out on this one, Andrew. Didn't I just see that the Supreme Court ruled that Wisconsin can only gerrymander their state to negatively impact marginalized races? If they try to do it to benefit them, that is illegal. That is unconstitutional. But if you're trying to do it to disparage them, like Republicans have been doing, totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the exact wording of the ruling, and I was a little bit iffy because I saw it was definitely the United States Supreme Court, and a lot of people were referring to it as the Wisconsin Supreme Court. So I think there may have also been something going on at the same time with the state Supreme Court. But yeah, like they rejected Governor Evers' proposed like re-gerrymandered maps because the Republican maps were so gerrymandered, and said like this is like, you know, less disparaging to minorities, and they like eventually ruled that is unconstitutional. And instead of going back to the original Republican gerrymandered maps, they went with the brand new, even more gerrymandered Republican maps that they like proposed as a counteroffer. I'm very confused, but it is really bad.
You ever see racism so blatant that it becomes confusing?
Yeah.
What a great state.
Yeah.
And it snowed there today.
Yeah. No, all day. It snowed all day.
Yeah.
Like it does in mid late April.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's almost 420.
Yeah.
It could snow on 420.
It could.
Good
How
luck,
epic
Madison
would
kids.
that be?
Good luck, Madison College kids smoking on rooftops when they're slick with snow and ice. I know you'll do it, but be safe.
Thoughts and prayers go out to the countless Madison College students that will be falling off of rooftops on 420 due to ice buildup. Thoughts and prayers to their families. It is an unavoidable tragedy.
The New York Times isn't getting any of my thoughts and prayers, though, because they published a write-up of Elden Ring, in which the outlet attributes its success to the pandemic and non-existent centrist politics? I don't know. Also, every image and clip in that game is a cell phone picture and recording of a TV rather than a native capture, and I really want to know if the New York Times thinks it's illegal to publish video game screenshots, or if the people behind this couldn't figure out how to natively capture any of that on their PlayStation 5 or PC.
Yeah.
Shit's weird.
Got to double tap the capture button, New York Times.
Double tap the capture button, New York Times.
Yeah. It is hard to fucking enable party chat over the clips, as we've learned.
That's fair.
There's a 10-step process, but as far as just capturing the clips.
We're not saying Sony PlayStation's UX, UI is perfect, but you are the New York Times, and you are writing about a piece of media that's widely successful in your tech column. Maybe you have to hire people who have this figured out. I don't know. Just me. Maybe I'm the crazy one.
Lucas, why does it suck?
Why does this article suck?
Yeah.
Did you read it?
I read it. I think this might be the first video game the person who wrote this ever played.
No. It's the Cuphead tutorial all over again.
Oh, no.
Kind of, except this guy isn't even a video games reporter. I think the people at the New York Times were like, yeah, we'll just have one of our tech guys do a write-up in between covering whether or how much lithium the U.S. is expected to get out of Afghanistan. We'll just have him write about Elden Ring, too. We're not going to pay anyone who knows how to write about video games to write about a video game for one of the most successful outlets in the history of news and opinion. Yeah. It's great. Great business acumen.
Yeah. It does seem like he liked it, though, at the end.
Yeah, but also, this isn't a write-up of the writers, and I don't want to call them out because this article reads as just being editorialized to hell. Different paragraphs sound like they're coming from different people, but it's not about whether or not the person who wrote this enjoyed it. It's about why it's successful. And to put the impetus of its success on the pandemic, or to imply that it wouldn't be popular if it had come out at a different time than this exact moment of history, ignores that From Software games, Dark Souls games, have been getting increasingly popular, forming a dedicated niche community over the course of more than a decade. And that has far more to do with this game's success, Elden Ring breaking out into the mainstream, than people are inside and need stuff to do. I think.
We need to stop making games hard.
Yeah.
Hard games make liberals. Literally don't even know how to explain
You're a beta male, Sonic.
No, but like you can choose how to play the game however you want, unlike the movie Don't Look Up, which is taking a stance on climate change. Is an actual argument in this piece from the New York Times.
But what is the argument? Does that make it good or bad? Does allowing you to choose make it bad because they're not taking a stance on something, or does it make it good because it gives you the freedom?
I don't think there was a value judgment there. The article attributes that to the game's success.
Okay.
No.
You can cheese it. Like every video game ever.
Yeah.
Ian beat the first boss today. I watched him do that, and I'm proud of him. Yeah.
There you go. He's on his way.
Congress has asked the FTC to investigate Dan Snyder possibly committing fraud. This prompt is just an excuse to shit-talk Dan Snyder for a bit.
Yeah, this one's fun.
So I think if I understand the math correctly, Dan Snyder recategorized some income for the Washington football team to be a type of income that is not shared with the other NFL owners, but is also such a minuscule amount of money that he cheated the other owners out of $1,100.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what his reasoning was, because it was a minuscule amount of money. I don't think I ever saw specifics, but he was keeping two separate sets of books about ticket sales, which the thing is, it being such a small amount of money makes me think that it's actually wrong and that it is something much worse, or that the two sets of books were actually for a much more nefarious purpose. But yeah, there's a section of ticket sales that's supposed to be split amongst all NFL teams with each other that goes into a pool for different things, and he lied about the amount of tickets they sold so that there would be less money going to that, which is really funny because they're being investigated for so many things at once that they just accidentally because they weren't looking for this.
No.
They were investigating them for a culture of sexual harassment, and then they just happened to find finances that didn't match up. But I'm guessing that there's something else on top of this.
And I'm interested to see if anything does come of this, because it's not... This money is nothing at the end of the day to the people involved, but also the people who are involved in this are the kind of people who would get upset if you didn't, like, pay them back their beer tab or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I am a billionaire, and you said you would Venmo me for that steak because you left your wallet at home. And you did not send me the $35 that you said you would.
That's not
I'm going to kill your dog.
$1,100 to these people is like $35 to regular people.
No, it's so much less.
Right.
It's so much less. $1,100 is like the couple of pennies that you can't seem to find underneath your car seat.
And it's just, I don't know, man. How petty are rich people? Like, are they still going to be, us billionaires, we got to stick together. We're always circling the wagons. You took a minuscule amount of money from me? When the government does that, that's one thing, but I thought we had something here. I don't know.
You think you're so tough, Pretzel boy? I've killed people before.
I don't think.
I think you guys.
We looked it up.
You guys proved me wrong
nothing to do
on
with pretzels.
I really thought. I still always associate him with Snyder's of Hanover.
Snyder of Hanover. Yeah.
Okay, Pretzel Boy is now the front runner for the title of this episode.
He's gonna be so confused when I call him Pretzel Boy.
Yeah. You're gonna chain yourself to the goalposts like all that shit going on in the NBA.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Have you not seen this? The Timberwolves owner has been like a lot of his businesses, like he's in like restaurants and food stuff.
Okay.
They've been like just committing a lot of animal rights abuses, like just doing some bad shit to chickens and everything. And so now on two separate occasions, one, a woman glued her hand to the basketball court right next to the hoop, and then had to be like ripped off and carried away. And another, she I think chained herself to the hoop, and they had to cut the chain and drag her away. And it was two different people, two different occasions, and both times they were wearing a shirt that says like the Timberwolves owner tortures animals or something like that to try to get the word out. But yeah, so that's fun. I think it's been mildly successful. If that was their goal.
That is owner Mark Laurie. Not totally sure how that's pronounced.
Yeah. There you go.
We're talking about it. We're talking about it on our widely successful podcast. So
awareness
they're doing their
has
job.
Been raised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glenn Taylor roasts animals alive. That's what it is.
Oh. Okay.
So. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a negative impulse to disagree with that. So like the idea that like this rich person is committing some kind of animal abuse to further their wealth or to gain their wealth initially. Yeah, I buy that. Roasting animals alive though, I don't think, is there a way of cooking something that makes it? Well, I guess lobsters.
No, it was a purge.
Oh, okay.
It was during there was like an epidemic.
Like, all right, gotta get rid of this stock because it's infected.
They had to cull like over 1 million chickens, so they just fucking lit them on fire.
There's got to be a more humane way to do that.
Shoot them. It's definitely more humane. Like, it's not pretty, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you've got to be roasted alive or shot in the face, it's not even a question.
Yeah, it's not a contest. Yeah, no, I'm not. I definitely empathize with a lot of those causes. I don't think I'm the most extremist version of that. Like, I can definitely empathize, but I don't. Like, I grew up on a farm. I'm aware of what happens. I'm a staunch advocate that every single person who consumes meat should participate in the slaughtering of an animal so that they fully understand and grasp the consequences of their actions. But like at the end of the day, I eat meat and I'm okay with it. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, man. You can do better. It reminds me of Food Inc. when they had all that hidden cell phone video of the workers just like punting the chickens around before they killed them.
Oh my God.
Just fucking them up for no reason, just because cruelty.
It's
a
living thing.
Yeah, that just doesn't deserve that.
That maybe has a soul. Don't.
Souls don't fucking exist.
That's fair.
We are an atheist podcast, and I will not stand for this.
I'm not.
Souls aren't real.
I'm agnostic. I like having something to be mad at.
I believe everything has a soul, except for chickens.
And as a result, I eat them with reckless abandon.
All right. I think that's going to take us into the meme corner. I didn't put anything here, but quick shout-outs to the Let Me Solo Her guy. You've been filling up my Twitter feed, and I appreciate it.
I've actually seen a few things about this. It's pretty cool.
Ryan, you had a look of shock and concern for a second.
Yeah. What does that sound like? Just from an outsider's perspective.
I mean, I think it sounds like a nearly naked man who's wearing a loincloth and a jar over his head beating the most difficult boss in Elden Ring several hundred times for strangers on the internet.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's nice.
Isn't it like shitty speedrunning?
His whole thing is that he's beaten the boss so many times that he goes for fun into other people's lobbies and named himself Let Me Solo Her so that they know who he is, and the whole thing is that he will beat the boss for you so that you don't have to die over and over again and you still get the loot.
Yeah.
And he just will do that all day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's speedrunning, but not as good. Helping other people, but like not nearly as skillful as some of the shit that goes on in the Soulsborne speedrunning community.
Ryan, speedrunning in Elden Ring right now is, well, technically impressive. Not great to watch. I'm going to be that guy because it's just...
You mean the any percent? I don't think that's category sticking around though, right? That's like a meme category right now.
I hope because right now it's just like, all right, I'm going to clip through the wall. I'm going to do that 5 more times and 8 minutes later I beat the game. Cool.
Yeah, the world shrinks down to the size of a marble, which then causes all the bosses to despawn, and then you win.
Yeah.
That's not, but like, I'm talking about, okay, how about like no damage runs or whatever?
That's dope.
Like, that I feel like that's still speedrunning, like it's still timed. So a no damage run of every single game back to back to back to back. And then no damage runs, like, with the most basic weapon in the game back to back to back. Like, I don't know, man.
I wonder...
People are wild and...
You have to die for a couple of them, though, so I wonder how that... well, they probably have an exclusion for that.
For scripted deaths?
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Or not. They found a way to beat those, too.
In Demon Souls, if you beat the first boss you run into, which the vast majority of people won't, you just get teleported to a later boss who is a giant dragon with human arms for some reason. I don't know. And it just punches you, and then you die.
Oh, like a cutscene, like you can't avoid it?
Yes. Maybe they don't count.
I was like, because I promise you, these people would be able to beat that boss.
Oh, yeah.
They literally will beat it with fists. They'll do like 1 damage per attack on a boss that has like 1900 health. Like, they're fucking psychopaths. That's impressive. That's maybe why I'm underwhelmed by this guy.
And I think all of those people are more responsible for Elden Ring being successful than the pandemic. Yeah, hot take.
I'd agree.
Hot take, New York Times. Pay me to write this.
Yeah, but that's not New York Times' bag.
No.
They don't want to talk about how gaming is cool and growing.
No.
They want to talk about culture.
How can progressives be more empathetic to conservatives?
Read these 6 op-eds from people that tried to undermine our democracy.
If you don't feel bad for people who want to do marginalized people harm, maybe you're as bad or worse than they are.
We wanted to understand inner city labor union efforts, so we went to 6 wealthy conservatives in Ohio to see what they think about it.
Oh, I hate it here. You guys seen any memes? Anything fun?
Nope. I mean, all the like the Easter memes about the body of Christ being gone is always fun.
I don't know why. Okay, I know why. I don't know why it blew up this year, though. My Twitter feed was just full of a lot of characters in various pieces of media being crucified on Easter. that was kind of metal.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
You take those.
Absolutely.
And we're going to take this one into the next call.
Son of a bitch, stealing my gimmick. Oh, weird. Andrew, you're in Ryan's position on my screen, and Ryan, you were in Andrew's former position.
Yeah, you guys switched on my end, too.
Trippy. Hey, Andrew, what's that mattress in the background? This is podcast material.
That's my old mattress, because we got a new mattress a couple months ago, and we've had this one in the hallway, but we had company over this weekend, so we put it in my office, because now my office is just this garbage room.
Yeah, it looks like a junk room.
Now that
You've heard of a junk drawer. Now get ready for
I heard you like garbage, so I put garbage in your garbage.
I mean,
why have you not gotten rid of it?
So we didn't get rid of it because initially, like, it was winter, it was snowing out, we got our new mattress like right after Christmas, and in Madison they stopped doing like the curbside like just like garbage and furniture pickup stuff for bigger items a couple months ago, so you had to like call into someone and like schedule an appointment to like for them to come pick it up from the side of the road. Otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't really matter because we're in an apartment. We couldn't get a ticket for us. Like, but anyway, so we're like, oh, we'll just wait until we figure out how to do that. And then in January, I got COVID, and so I had to quarantine from Jade, and so it was really useful to have a mattress that I could sleep on and not this futon. And
if only there was a collapsible thing that you can sleep on that stores away really nicely and doesn't take up a fuck ton of space. If only that existed.
Did you put the mattress on the floor or the mattress on top of the futon?
On the floor. It wouldn't fit on top of the futon.
No,
the futon's way too small.
Well, at least then at least you have like a dirty box spring. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think it fits. You'd have these hard bars like running across, and I don't even. Yeah, the futon might collapse under the
futon
weight.
I've slept on that futon. That futon doesn't have bars. That's just that just falls off. There'd be like a stretch. There'd be a twin size stretch of solid bed.
Anyway, the point is, I need to get rid of it, but we haven't.
Your building has a dumpster.
Yeah.
Trust me, I worked for an apartment complex. Yeah, we had mattress removal day like a couple times a summer, where you take all the old mattresses that you've accumulated and you throw them in a dump truck and take them to the dump.
God,
it's just a part of life.
Fucking move out week back in Madison, man. You walk past houses that have been housing various college students for probably as long as those houses have been built. And then for a week every year, it's just, there are going to be 8 mattresses on every curb in this city. Buckle up.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's no reason. I don't have like a good argument as to why we have it. Like the initial reason was because we realized, it might be useful to have like this mattress in the other room if one of us needs to quarantine or if someone comes over, because it's a lot nicer to sleep on than the futon. But then we decided, no, we need to get rid of it, and we just haven't.
That's a boring story. I was expecting something more exciting.
Sorry.
I think your office is now technically a second bedroom. It's more of a second bedroom than it is an office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
For tax purposes,
right.
You need to declare it as a second residence.
Oh, please, I don't pay taxes.
Oh, it's too late now, everyone, but pay your taxes. You should have done that.
Is it like schoolwork where the less late it is, the more the less you have to pay in fines? If I'm only 3 days late, I only have to pay $100 in fines. If I'm a month late, we're talking like $1,000.
I mean, that's how real
or jail time.
That's how actual fines work, though. A lot of the time, right?
I mean, I think you just get additional fines. Like, not paying your fine is worthy of getting a fine. I don't think your original fine has had like compound interest put on it. I think you just get more fines for not paying your fine.
I mean, unless it's a library fine, then you just take care of it on amnesty day. Then you're good to go.
So, the United States outlawed debtors' prisons.
Yeah. Well, and turned regular prisons
Well, yeah,
into
no,
that,
you're talking
yes,
about... Yeah, you could just say prison.
Wait, what?
Like a debtor... Prison is still partially used just for poor people.
Right, for poor people,
Right.
but debtors' prisons was like, you could literally go to jail because you owe someone money and you can't pay them back.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, you go to jail.
No.
But, like, in theory, if you can't pay your taxes... you go to jail.
Yeah.
Isn't that debtor's prison? Like,
I mean, they don't. It's because they don't distinguish between can't pay your taxes and won't pay your taxes. It's just you didn't pay your taxes. They don't care if you didn't pay your taxes because you were trying to commit fraud, or you didn't pay your taxes because you don't have the money to do so. They don't care.
I wonder though. Now I'm thinking. I guess every person I've heard of that's gone to prison for tax evasion has been a millionaire who's like.
Yeah.
Definitely on purpose avoided paying taxes. Like, I've heard of them garnishing wages. Like, I've heard of the IRS garnishing wages. So maybe that's a thing for all I know. Like, for poor people that clearly just couldn't afford it, they get their wages garnished instead. I don't know. But yeah, if they are actually sending people to jail for not being able to pay their taxes because maybe their employer didn't withhold it and then they used it all to survive. That feels like debtor's prison.
Yeah.
That feels like the exact same thing, except for to the government instead of some rando loan shark.
Well, the thing is, though, is the IRS doesn't care about sending people to prison. Like, their goal isn't to...
They just want their fucking money.
Exactly. Their goal is not to punish people. Their goal is to get money. Sometimes it's the money that they're owed because of the laws, and sometimes it's additional money that they're getting out of you because you didn't give them the money they were owed initially. They're kind of like a loan shark in that way. Like they've got a crazy return on investment. Like the IRS makes a lot of money. Like they make way more money than is spent on the IRS.
Like I appreciate the memes because the current U.S. tax system is fundamentally fucked and needs to be entirely upended. But yeah, everybody out there joking like, oh yeah, taxes, you got to figure them out yourself, even though the government knows how much you owe them. And if you pay the wrong amount, you go to jail. No, they send you a letter like, hey, you still owe us this much.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
No, it's stupid. It's
no.
They should just send you a letter right away saying you owe us this much or you're going to get this much. But like
90% of people, if they were told, yeah, pay this much in taxes, would just pay it to make it go away. There's a few people who, I don't know. Do you guys balance your checkbooks? I feel like I want to say something controversial.
So because of my freelance work, I pay quarterly taxes. So yeah, I'm balancing my checkbook. I'm checking every transaction like quarterly.
Boo.
I know, I'm
boring. Okay, Andrew doesn't. So
yeah.
So it's not that controversial.
I did in college, and then I realized like I can just have an app on my phone from my bank that shows it all for me, and I don't have to worry about getting math wrong.
Yeah. The minute that I got an app, I was like, wait, what? So what would I ever balance a checkbook for?
Yeah, I remember my mom asked me a couple months ago, like, hey, like she was asking a question about my taxes, and she said, can I see your checkbook? I'm like, why? Like, there's nothing in there. She's like, you don't balance your checkbook? I'm like,
oh, I thought you were trying to hide it.
Oh.
Like you were being evasive. Like, why? I mean, like, I have it, but like...
Yeah, no, I'm balancing my checkbook. You don't need to see it.
Yeah, like, that's personal, don't you think? Like, I don't think you want to see that,
just
right?
Trying to convince my mom that I balanced my checkbook. No, I don't want you to see it. Not because it's empty. There's porn on there. There's tons of porn.
Yeah, there's porn. I was just watching porn. That's way better than not balancing my checkbook.
I'm like, Mom, like, I have an automatically balanced checkbook on my phone or on a computer whenever I log in. It does it for me. It shows me all the shit. Why do I have to write it down on a piece of paper?
That's the way that they did it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like I guess there could be a banking error. Someone could charge more than you expected in small amounts, and you don't notice it while you're checking your app. I want to know how much people who balance their checkbook think that they're potentially catching in terms of banking errors. Because if it's less than $1,000, I'm good. Fuck it. That's worth it to not have balanced my checkbook for the last decade.
Every time I've gotten a suspicious charge, I've been alerted to it either by my bank or my credit card. Like, it's not even me catching this stuff anymore.
Right. I imagine the bank error is literally like, oh, that person mistransposed your tip at the restaurant, and you paid them $10 more than you wanted to, and you didn't notice because it was $10.
I think most people are aware enough of their finances. I shouldn't say most people, but people like us are at least aware enough of our finances that, like, if somebody moved a decimal, we're gonna catch that. We're gonna be like, why is there $100,000 less in my checking or savings account than what I think should be there?
Yeah, I mean, when someone, steals your credit card, or like, they take a photo of your credit card at a restaurant or something and use it to buy shit, I always think that, like, the smart thing to do would be to just use that to buy things as you go every once in a while. Like, I'm sure the fear there is that, like, oh, they're going to notice and I'm going to lose out on this opportunity to get, money out of this. So I'm going to buy $500 worth of junk right now, which is immediately going to get flagged. Because, like, that's what happened when I got my credit card stolen. They just, like, bought like $1,000 worth of pizza and clothes in like 20 minutes, and my bank called me like, hey, I think someone stole your credit card info. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking at it now, and this is totally bogus. And they're like, yeah, we'll cancel it, thanks. If
frantically buys more pizza and clothes.
If they just bought a pizza every couple of days and like ordered something on like a clothing store like once a week, it may take me a little bit to figure it out. Like, I'm not checking it every single day.
I thought that you were saying you would add to the scheme. You would try to benefit from your credit card getting stolen. No. Like, you would then make a bunch of bullshit purchases as well and be like, oh no, yeah, looks like they also bought a flat screen TV. That's terrible.
Yeah, no, I thought about it.
Yes, this Hemiger Schwimmer recliner also appears to be fraudulent.
Where was it shipped to? You don't need to look at that.
I'm sure, that's the whole thing. Is there's got to, like, they investigate. Like there's a reason that they mark it as suspicious, because like part of it, I'm sure, is that it's not going into any recognized addresses that I've used before. If my credit card was stolen and then $1,000 worth of merchandise was sent to my apartment,
right?
I think they might say, what's going on there?
If you could find a dummy address, order through NordVPN or whatever, so they can't track your IP.
Send it to my neighbor's house and then just pick it up.
Yeah, people who live in that area.
Did they?
Although no, because then they could they could be on the hook for identity fraud. Yeah, I guess anyone that you put as a potential address for receiving
send it to people I don't like.
Which is why. Yeah, you know what? If I ever decide to commit crimes, like, my strategy is, get that information. Just buy a bunch of gift cards. Just buy, like, the max amount of gift cards from a Walgreens 2-3 towns like over.
A digital gift card.
And then you can fence that shit immediately.
Fence it?
Or not even
How do you go about fencing gift cards, Lucas?
Not even go through a fence. Just be like, okay, I'm going to use these gift cards to buy even more gift cards.
You can't buy gift cards with gift cards.
I think you can buy gift cards with gift cards.
Can't use them to buy other gift cards.
That's just what we said.
That's the exact same thing. That we
no, but like,
saying.
I can't use an Amazon gift card to buy an Amazon gift card because I use an Amazon gift card to buy.
No.
Okay.
They won't let you for that exact purpose. Yeah, it immediately launders.
Well, at least then I'm 1 degree removed. I'm one transaction removed from. Oh, it is definitely this person making this purchase.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that, like, call center scammers in India always try to get people to buy Target gift cards and bullshit. Like, yeah, it's effective, no doubt. But I love that you have a go-to crime that you're ready to hit up. Should I have a go-to
Yes.
crime that I'm like weighing my current life situation
I'm not.
against?
So like, that's not like.
I don't.
Okay, that's not my go-to crime. That's just. That seems like a more common white-collar crime if I were to ever to do that. You guys never think about this? You guys never think like...
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have your bet, but do you have, like... You have thought about it enough that you have an alternative.
Yeah.
Like, this is your crime alternative to your current lifestyle. You've thought it over, and the only reason you haven't enacted it is your current lifestyle is still better than that crime alternative that you found. And if you do one day find a better crime alternative, you will be... taking that crime alternative.
Yes, but now multiply that by like every crime you hear about, because that's like, you hear about crimes. It's like you could, maybe I'm the maniac, but also like, how could I do this differently to get away with it? Like if I were to commit Grand Theft Auto, what's the play there? What's the optimal strat?
I'm trying to optimize. So what is your go-to if it's not credit card scams? Buying gift cards.
I don't have a go-to.
No.
Huh.
Okay.
Just like
Well,
here, like name a crime, and I'll try to come up with the best way to execute that.
Well, I'm just saying,
Sex
like,
work.
It sounds like. Jesus.
No, yeah,
Sorry, solicitation.
Sex work in and of itself is not
solicitation.
You have to.
and I am
That's not going to benefit. If you're soliciting.
Sorry, no. What's
alternative to my lifestyle is buying.
No.
What,
What's the opposite of solicitation? What is it actually just called prostitution? Is that the crime? I thought it had a different name.
I don't know what solicitation is the Johns are.
You're right. You're right.
For prostitutes.
So I am ripping this off of somebody else who did this, who was on a podcast and talked about doing this. So I cannot claim credit for this, but boy, have I heard stories of people pretending to be underage,
women and selling their
underage, then having conversations with people who are either pedophiles or would be down to commit pedophilia. Like, just get enough information that they'd be identifiable, and then immediately extort them for money or threaten to go to the police. Like, if I would...
That's your optimal strat.
You could do that
if I
and
wanted to make
pretend
money
to
off
be
of
a child.
You're gonna have to be real fucking careful. You are backing dangerous people into a corner, saying that basically you will go to prison.
And also, like, kind of you're not encouraging pedophilia, but you are providing an outlet for pedophiles.
Yeah.
You're not like making them do it, but you are finding people that are doing horrific things and saying, "Hey, look, you could do this horrific thing here." I don't know. I think it's
I'm not saying I would actually do this, just like I'm not saying I would ever steal a credit card. But like
in a video game.
All I'm saying, if I were backed into a corner, like this seems like it'd be the successful way to do this.
In a video game, you could hypothetically DM people that comment on underage girls' TikToks and gain just enough personal information and put them in compromising enough situations that you then have great financial gain and then still continue to ruin their life anyway in a video game.
Yeah, no, I'm all for exposing pedophiles.
There's nothing stopping me from sending their money to the cops after I get my money.
Well, wait,
their identity.
Send it to a charity, my guy. Don't send it to the cops.
Oh man, yeah, this guy's so fucked up. He sent me $10,000 as you drive away in your new Mercedes. Oh man, that's crazy. He sent me $5,300.
The prompt was, if I were to do a crime, how would I do it? Okay? I'm sorry for thinking within the parameters of your question.
I thought you were doing the feet pic scam. I've heard a lot of straight men participating in the feet pics market.
They just get like stock photos of feet?
Posing as women. Oh no, using their own feet. It's because you can't fucking tell. People will pretend that they can tell. You can't tell. There's no such thing as a masculine or a feminine foot. And even if there is, that's a kink.
Yeah.
Some men are going to be into quote unquote masculine looking feet.
So like my hang up is that
No, I know that's spaces that women could use to enrich themselves.
Ryan, no, come on. My hang-up is that I have runner's feet. There's some calluses on there. There's some,
you don't want to make money off your feet. Because...
I think people would like that.
No, exactly. Yeah, so that's either going to be, okay, not going to be mass market with this one, but could I find a niche? Could I find a couple of whales? Maybe.
You just need one whale. Are you fucking kidding me?
Lucas is going to feel bad because he's going to have to find a guy with a kink that's just like, oh yeah, I really like how fucked up your feet are. I'm going to give you so much money for those fucked up, ugly feet.
Yeah, you're going to have to play into it. I feel like you're going to have to say like, oh yeah, you'd love that grody callus scraping across your cheek, wouldn't you? And you're just sitting there like doubting your own self-image a little bit. Just like, damn, I don't... Yeah.
Oh, you flat foot motherfucker.
Oh, you look like you have shin splints.
You could feel my arch if I stepped on your forehead.
What are we doing, guys?
We're going to talk about...
crime, Andrew? What's your crime? I want to hear Andrew's crime before we
robbery.
How?
Yeah, you've always talked about robbing a bank. That's not in a video game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Grand Theft Auto, Payday, robbing video game banks.
Yeah. But, like, that's stupid, Andrew. That shit's not gonna work. I'm sorry.
What's the strategy? I'll hear the argument at least.
You're committing suicide?
No.
Like, is that...
No, I'd
escape rather than kill yourself?
I'm smarter and faster than all of the police.
You haven't... Okay, now I'm thinking you actually haven't put any thought into this, and this is just a bit. I gave two really... not really detailed, but at least thought out explanations for how I would do my crimes.
Lucas, come on. You walk into a bank with your hand inside of a paper bag, and you say, put all the money in the bag. And then they do it, and then they say, oh, you're under arrest for armed robbery. And you go, I never said I had a gun. I just was holding my salami sandwich in the paper bag. And then they beat you to death.
The only advice...
Yeah, once again, you're committing suicide. You're not committing a crime. You just want to kill yourself and might as well take a shot at robbing a bank while doing it.
The only advice I can give you, Andrew, is that there's going to be a paper clip of 5 20s in that teller drawer. You don't want to spend those because those are the marked dollars. That's how they get you.
Your small town bank that you worked at had marked dollars.
Every bank in America does.
Yeah.
Every bank in America has marked bills that they hand over in case of armed
robbery. It is an insurance requirement, yes.
And what would you do if they said, yeah, not these bills, more bills, and pointed a gun at you? Like...
Oh, I'm not saying you would do that. I'm just...
Oh, shit.
I gave
them every single bill except for the mark ones. What a stupid move on my part.
Lucas.
I just remembered these 20s were special. I couldn't remember why.
Yeah, I thought those were the ones we don't give over under any circumstances.
Those are the bills that after the armed robbery you go to the house of someone that you don't like and leave them there.
Merry Christmas, my least favorite uncle.
Here's $300.
Brian, what's your
Don't look
crime?
Too closely.
I don't think like I said, I don't think that I had a crime. I've never thought through a crime nearly long enough to have any sort of plan. Andrew's brought up robbing a bank in a video game.
You've never thought like, boy, this restaurant sure is taking a while to give us our bill. I could just go.
I've never thought of that.
Oh, okay.
I have literally never thought about dining in.
I mean, like...
If for nothing else, because of the tip.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's entirely... I mean, I have definitely thought, like, oh, yeah, this is a thing that I could do, but never, like, a thing that I would want to do. Because, yeah, it's a restaurant.
I've never even had a Call of the Void. Like, I have Call of the Voids all the time.
Yeah, no, like, I have intrusive thoughts of, like, I could just fucking walk out right now.
I've never even had that for dining and dash. I don't know why. I've just never even considered that a thing.
I only commit crimes against...
I
only commit crimes in video games against bad people.
I'm not saying that I'm more moral than anyone else. Just literally for whatever reason, it's never crossed my mind. Maybe because I didn't work in the food service industry. So
that's fair.
It's so ingrained in my social like contracts that I have with the world that like that's not what you do. That literally not an option. I guess I've thought through like a lot of grifts, but I don't think I get arrested for them. Like I don't think I would ever be charged with anything for like the grifting that I thought of, because it's always grifting people that like kind of deserve it. Like that's what I'd be looking out for. It's the Trumpy bear type shit.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up with some sort of grift for people that I despise and like feel like it would work, and then I wouldn't do the shady shit. I'd be comfortable making like $100K and ducking out and not like laundering that shit and try to turn it into a criminal empire. Like,
did I ever talk about that with you guys? How last Thanksgiving I was back at my folks' place watching Comedy Central at like 9 p.m. on a Wednesday, and the Trumpy bear ads come on, and I still don't know if that's ironic or not, or what's going on there.
No, I genuinely have no idea. But that type of shit, it's like a clear grift. But like, if you make money, you make money. Like, someone's stupid enough to buy it, and I just don't feel that much remorse for those types of people. Like, I don't think I'd want to run a grift on like elderly, for example, like targeting QVC buyers. Although I'm sure there'd be a bunch of elderly people buying a Trumpy bear type product. But then again, I don't feel remorse because of the specific type of elderly person that I'm targeting. It's not just old and doesn't understand how the world works. It's like, no, I'll tap into your hatred.
There's a difference between running a grift that gets, $50 out of a lot of people and running a grift that ruins the lives of a couple dozen. You're not doing like a reverse mortgage kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It would be like a hatred tax. It would be like, I am taxing you for your ill feelings towards your fellow man.
I'm branding you as a bad person. Yeah. I'm labeling you and making you pay me for it.
Hey man, you want a government approved sticker that lets you take up 2 parking spots in any parking lot in America like you're already doing? I got you, fam. $150. Here you go.
Yeah. No, exactly. And then it goes towards, sure, my personal enrichment. I'm not some great moral person, but like at the same time, I don't know, potentially freeing me up to be like financially independent and able to pursue my goals of like actually making this world a better place instead of just being exhausted and burnt out all the time. Hopefully there's a net positive there.
I've run recently through the part of the cycle in my life where it's like, now I really would rather do anything except for work, and I'm willing to do a lot of things that would get me into like comfortable retirement very quickly. And I'm like, man, crime is kind of the best way to do it.
In a video
game.
It's the fastest way, but the riskiest too. You really want to blow everything up, assuming you're not trying to like hurt anyone, assuming there's no physical crime involved, because then you get into a whole nother moral quandary. Is that something you're willing to risk? You're weighing it constantly against your current standing in the world, I suppose.
I'm going to rob Vladimir Putin. Sorry, go ahead, Lucas.
Good luck with that.
Ooh, pirate one of those yachts.
Oh yeah,
that's what I've been thinking. Have any of you guys thought of that? Like, I'm like, all these yachts are being seized. Why has no private citizen just dipped? What is Russia going to do?
There was a thing very early on in the invasion. It was like after like 3 or 4 days, one of the the czars, or whatever you want to call him, is like, he's just a weapons dealer, like literally a Bond villain, and he was in some like Mediterranean port with his super yacht, and his chief engineer is a Ukrainian citizen. And he like saw on the news what was happening, and so he blew it up.
Yeah.
He like set the boiler to explode. And that's what I was thinking. Like, sail away with it, dude.
Right.
Not
like, what? How has there been no pirate? I mean, maybe there hasn't. It's just been covered up by both governments. But like, what are the Russian oligarchs going to do that are locked in Russia? Like, you literally have laissez-faire to commit that crime, and it would honestly be a net positive for society.
You don't even have to sell that back to that asshole or another asshole billionaire who needs another yacht. You can scrap that thing for parts.
Yeah. Fuck it.
In a video game. Speaking of video games.
In a video game, you could do this.
Andrew, I don't know. Has the other Aloy been revealed to have pretended to be actual Aloy's master and the superior clone yet.
No.
Oh.
But there have been some discussions about, what makes a person who they are, and if they're genetically identical, why are they so different, and upbringing matters, and, still having the same, identity and that kind of shit. And also, just Horizon Forbidden West is a really good game. I've enjoyed playing it so fucking much. Its story is good, but the game is just so fun to play. And I love all the characters. And I like how the central hub base that you go back to in between, big story missions, you just see your increasingly growing number of allies just digging into the lore of the game and the past. And they're like, hey, did you know that humans used to, give each other stuffed fucking animals when they liked each other? That's wild. Do you know what pro wrestling is? This shit's fucking awesome. Yeah.
That's very cute. That's very fun. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, that's it. Good game.
Okay.
I've put 50 hours into it so far.
Are you close to the end?
I think I just started the final act of the game. Not positive, just kind of on story beats. I think I'm in the last third of the game.
Okay. Good luck with that. Let us know what you think of it when you beat it, or continue to give us regular updates.
Will do.
I watched the 3rd season of the animated show Close Enough, which is a show made by and seemingly for people who live in Los Angeles. There was an entire episode where the subplot was trying to find parking along the PCH, and yeah, that was an experience. Is that guy kind of an asshole for busting out a cone when he finds a parking spot, but then immediately has to drive away for an unrelated reason? Yes. But also that's a very Los Angeles thing that people have done. Yeah.
There you go.
Good show. Weird show. There's also a bit where they're just in the Cartoon Network studios where it's produced and animated, and that was odd, but fun.
In Burbank?
Yeah.
Hey, I can see that building.
Yeah. I also made a joke about Venice Beach being expensive and kind of sketchy. Haven't been there yet. I imagine it's accurate, but yeah. Ryan, what are you checking out?
Not that much. We intended on seeing, Everything Everywhere All at Once? Mm-hmm. Kind of slipped through the cracks.
Same.
Sounds like we're gonna be doing Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent in a big group setting.
Can't wait.
We talked about Bucks one. That was a classic game. I don't know. Me and Andrew playing GTA 5, having a good time, killing the baddies and wrestling with cars.
Yeah,
all right.
I fly a flying DeLorean.
Yeah. I use an alien blaster gun to knock Andrew off skyscrapers sometimes.
Then he takes my flying DeLorean and flies it into the ocean.
Throws it into the ocean. So I don't have to pay for the insurance.
I get bullied in video games.
I still think you've killed me more than I've killed you.
It's because I'm better, and not because I use auto-aim. And you don't.
It's been a while since I saw Back to the Future 2. When the DeLorean flies, is it just in the air, or do the doors open and work as actual wind? What I'm saying is, would this thing survive being dumped in the water, or are the doors open?
The doors do not turn into wings. Wings come out of the bottom of the car.
Little tiny baby.
Yeah,
wings.
I mean,
okay.
It's like a hover car.
Okay.
It's not so much flying as
that's what it looks like in Back to the Future.
It's kind of slow.
The wings come out of the bottom of the car. The doors don't turn in the wings.
Yeah, all right.
But that's what I'm saying. It's more hovering than flying. Yeah. Like it's a little tiny.
You don't go
fast.
It's
slow when it flies. Yeah.
Oh.
Andrew goes faster on the ground than when he's flying.
Fair.
Over the same distance. I imagine if you can go as the crow flies instead of sticking to the roads, that cuts off a lot of travel time.
I would imagine.
But yeah.
I've been playing a video game called Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This video game has cured my anxiety. My skin has never been clearer, and it's motivated me to run another marathon.
Good.
Yeah.
You said yesterday you didn't want to run another marathon.
Then I played more Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it for you, Kirby.
Lucas, you can't run a marathon by sucking up a car and driving the 24 miles.
But can I suck up a truck and use it to kill God?
Now you're talking.
You can't go mouthful mode in real life.
Oh, God. There's going to be so much porn.
When Kirby... Andrew.
Going to be.
Andrew. When Kirby sucks up the car, do you think this is he's somehow changing the directions and speed of it by shifting the weight of the car around? Or is Kirby's internal anatomy entirely prehensile and he's using that to change
he's
gears?
And
okay.
100%. He has multiple internal appendages that are steering the wheel and pressing the gas and shifting.
Look, I'm not going to be the first person that's called Kirby an eldritch horror. Like, it's been done before. This is not outside the realm of possibilities.
No, that is canonical. Kirby is one of the old gods. He was just a little baby. It was fine.
Little baby.
Yeah. I beat King DDD in this game, who doesn't seem to have any kind of nefarious plan in this. He just ends up in a new world and sees that there are people doing bad guy stuff, and he's like, yeah, okay, I'm about that. I'll be peer pressured into kidnapping my own minions, even though I could just command them to, like, help you power this power plant to revive a different god. Okay, sure, I'm down for this.
There you go. Glad you beat him.
Also, the opening of this game makes me think that the opening of Super Smash Bros. Is a little suspect, where Kirby famously rides on a star to avoid a universe-destroying cataclysm. In the opening of the Forgotten Land, Kirby's on a star. He's doing that, but then he just gets sucked into a vortex. The bad guy in Super Smash Bros. Less powerful than a vortex. Confirmed.
Mm.
Yeah.
So just used a vortex.
Yeah.
Damn. So what marathon are you running?
Probably the LA Marathon again, if it ain't broke.
Yeah. It seemed like you were like, at least yesterday, like, man, yeah, I want like a new challenge that I can put myself towards today.
Well,
doing it again.
So it's either run another marathon or finally try writing a book. And I don't know if I have it in me to take enough of a chance on myself to write a book. I don't know if I believe in myself enough.
Yeah, let me tell you, Lucas, when you actually get started on a book project that you feel pretty passionate about and then it fizzles out, it makes you feel real bad about yourself. But yeah. I imagine that if it doesn't fizzle out, you feel pretty good about yourself, so there's the risk reward. I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what it feels like to actually do it, so...
Until you show it to other people whose opinions you respect, and they're like...
Mid.
Yeah, this is kind of mid. And they're like, yeah, this thing I care about and thought was really good and created is mediocre. It's fine.
I don't think you should care about those people's opinions if the best criticism they can, or constructive criticism they can give after you show them something you poured a lot of effort into is mid, bro. Bro, that's pretty mid.
Okay, could be better. How could it be better? I don't know. I'm not the writer, man.
Different. Yeah, I don't write. I just read. It's not good.
One of those two things. I'll do it for you, Kirby.
I'll write a book for Kirby.
Yeah.
Won't have anything to do with Kirby. Is your book going to be about hypothetical video game crimes?
Ooh, it could be.
And how to get away with them? How you do them better?
I'm pretty sure that was a Ryan Reynolds movie. Like, he and his friends, already big leap of how, like, people actually interact with each other, would create documents about how they would commit a crime for fun, and then people stole those documents and actually did them, and then they had to catch the thieves.
Interesting.
Canada paid for that movie to be real. Do we want to talk about baseball a little bit? Baseball's back.
Sure.
Some wacky shit happening that can only happen in baseball. Sean Murphy got pegged in the ass
with a ball
by a baseball. I had to catch my breath there.
You know, a lot of people were really into Sean Murphy's ass. The MLB like official TikTok account like posted that video of him getting plunked in the ass and doing his weird little poke your ass out thing and going, "She's literally gorgeous. She's so gorgeous."
Sean Murphy has a great ass. Sean Murphy has an athlete's ass. We don't talk about it enough. A lot of physicality relies on having a well-developed ass.
I was going to say, baseball players essentially wear yoga pants and train their legs every day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Were people really not aware of this? We had a very disproportionate amount of high school girls come to every single baseball game. A lot more than you would expect.
It is.
In order that would surprise you.
I can't imagine why.
Albert Pujols tried to steal a base, and I can't imagine why he would try to do that either.
I saw this because I was watching the Brewers game. It was so fucking funny. He's so slow.
Albert Pujols was slow in his prime. Now he's old as fuck. Like it's literally Tom Brady. Like slow when he was young and is now slower.
He had no form. I mean, god damn. It was also a bad throw to third base. Like
Yeah, no, he almost got away with it.
No, he did not almost get away with it. He had like 3 full steps to go by the time he caught that ball.
If that ball's a little higher, all I'm saying is might not be able to react as quickly, the Brewers' third baseman.
It's fair.
Yeah, also he did throw it with no zip. Literally nothing. Yeah. He's like, oh, I've got time to heat up a sandwich and eat it before he gets to third base.
And then maybe the most baffling thing of all of this so far, Clayton Kershaw was pulled deep in... Huh?
Clayton Kershaw.
I added an R there. I'm sorry. Clayton Kershaw was pulled deep in the process of pitching a perfect game.
I am so pissed.
Yeah, no, it's Bush League. It's so fucking stupid. Like, why?
I got mad a couple years ago because someone pulled I think the Brewers pulled a starter while he had a no-hitter going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was last.
Like, at the end of the day, if a no-hitter, like if he's walked some people and is showing control issues and it's a tight game, I can see it. It's a no-hitter. It happens once a month, maybe twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like, perfect games, man. That's like once every 5
years. It's been like almost 30 years, I think. Didn't they say it was 28 years?
No way.
I'm pretty sure there are literally like 24 people who have ever pitched a perfect game. On the books, at least.
Some people have pitched more than one.
Oh, fair.
Oh, 2012. Okay, it's been 10 years.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
I was like, it's definitely happened somewhat recently. And there was the one perfect game that should have been a perfect game. The umpire blew the ball in the last out. That was more recent than 2012 too. So, yeah. But that perfect game has gone on to be one of the most famous perfect games. So, in a way,
I don't know.
You take that. So yeah, no, that's some bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Like, let one guy get on base.
Then like who gives a shit?
Literally warm a guy up, get him totally ready to go. Then the second someone gets on base, it's time to go. Even if it's a walk and he's still got a no hitter intact, that's fine. Perfect game, fuck you.
Yeah. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but baseball having the number of games that it does and the kind of people that become professional baseball players. There's a disproportionate amount of wacky shit happening in baseball, and I think it's fun. The athletic stadium apparently has a pack of 30 to 40 feral cats living in it. And that's going to cause some great announcement shenanigans over the course of the season. I can't wait. They're going to familiarize themselves with players being on the field and start approaching them, which means we're going to have a radio announcer lose their goddamn mind when one of the players pets that cat's tummy. It's going to be great. I can't wait for it. Is that all we got today?
I think so.
All right. Then, episode 180 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, titled Pretzel Boy, is coming to a close. Thank you all so much for listening. If you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for highlight clips. ActBlue link in the description. If you want to support the podcast, join the likes of our terrific patrons, including Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, and Sensual Richard Nixon. You can also support us through the Anchor Podcast platform. Email us your questions and business opportunities, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter for updates at V2_podcast, and email me. No, don't email me. Follow me on Twitter, where I'm at Lucas DeRuyter. I hope your Easter and/or Passover was a fantastic one if you celebrate. And good luck with your week otherwise. Goodbye.